What is up, guys? Richard Catholomew here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going to be taking a look at the stats and the perks of all 4 of the new reissued Dreaming City weapons added into Destiny 2 with Season of the Chosen, so we can determine the PvE and PvP God rolls for these weapons, and then we're ranking them all from the worst to the best. Guys, this is 4 God roll videos in one. Now that's what I call content. Alright, now let's get started. First things first, if you want to be grinding these weapons and you want to be focused the entire time, try the brand new Cactus Kiwi Lime flavor for Advanced GG, the best and only clinically proven gaming supplement out there. Click the link in the description down below and use code KHD for a discount. Guys, it's a tropical vacation in your mouth. Alright, now let's get started here with something a little bit important. There is actually a difference between the rolls of these Dreaming City weapons that you'll get from the Dreaming City, Blind Well, etc., and then the rolls you get from specifically the Shattered Throne dungeon, in the fact that there seems to be one dungeon exclusive perk, and that perk, from what I can gather, is Vorpal Weapon. So if you're looking for rolls specifically with Vorpal Weapon, make sure to be doing the Shattered Throne dungeon. Alright, now let's start here with the worst of these 4 weapons, and that's going to be the Vouchsafe Legendary Energy Scout Rifle. Now, importantly, this is the worst when compared to these other weapons. This is actually not that bad of a scout rifle. It belongs to the 200 rounds per minute lightweight frame archetype. Notably, that's the same as the Mida multi-tool, which does see a reasonable amount of play. And the stats overall are decent and what you would expect for this archetype. Moving on to the perks. In that first category, we have a couple of ways to boost the reload speed in Rapid Hit and Outlaw. Rapid Hit, however, is going to give you bonuses to stability if you're landing those rapid precision hits, so I think overall it might be a bit of a better choice. And then we've got 4th times the charm, getting you ammo back if you're landing precision hits, Killing Wind, rewarding you with mobility, weapon range, and handling if you get a kill, and then even Surplus has proven itself to be pretty darn good, increasing handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability. With scout rifles, because they're a little bit further back, especially in PvP, you're not spamming your abilities quite as much, and so Surplus is active a lot of the time. Then in that second perk category, Explosive Payload is not a bad choice, going to cause a little bit more flinch in PvP, and in PvE it's going to spread around your damage. Dragonfly is alright, but Multi-Kill Clip is definitely a highlight here, giving you a damage boost based on the number of rapid kills before you reloaded. Now also there's going to be Wellspring, which is going to give you your ability energy back on a kill, and then of course we do have Vorpal Weapon for more boss and super damage. Now, for me, a PvP God roll with this weapon, I think, is Rapid Hit or Killing Wind, maybe Surplus, plus Explosive Payload. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, what about Multi-Kill Clip? And while Rapid Hit plus Multi-Kill Clip certainly isn't a bad roll, remember this archetype only hits for 54 damage in the head, which means it's not that close to being a 3-shot kill. You need Multi-Kill Clip times 2 to get enough of a damage bonus to potentially 3-tap someone. So unless you're always getting multi-kills, it's really not that great in PvP. PvE, however, definitely Multi-Kill Clip will shine, and I think the PvE God roll is going to be Rapid Hit or Outlaw plus Multi-Kill Clip for that easy damage boost. But you could potentially go 4th times the charm plus Vorpal Weapon for anti-champion usage. Vorpal to deal obviously more damage, and if you can, just keep plugging them if you have, anti-barrier or overload or some sort of anti-champion mod for your scout, and you can just constantly be plugging them and getting your ammo back and stunning them. That's pretty good too. But I should mention that Explosive Payload seems to make it easier to stun champions. But it's time to move on to the second worst in our lineup, and that is the Waking Vigil Legendary Energy Hand Cannon. Now, before you freak out at me, this is actually a good weapon, it just suffers in the current meta, and that's why it's ranked lower. If you want to use a hand cannon, you gotta be using a 120 or an absolutely goated 140. This used to be a 150, but if we look at it now, it is one of the weapons that was brought into that 140 archetype, and these weapons are simply not doing that amazingly within the current meta. However, there are some advantages to these brought over weapons, mainly that insane aim assistance. So you can shoot like a foot away from someone's head and it'll still give you a headshot with these weapons. That's the advantage to using them. Stats wise, however, range, stability, not that great. Handling, fantastic. But moving on from there, let's talk about those perks. So we do have ricochet rounds, which is definitely a highlight here, giving you a boost to range and stability, and I think that's what you want definitely in that category. For PvP, you can go with an extended mag perk or even a faster reload perk for PvE. Moving on to that first perk category, we again have rapid hit and outlaw, similar to the Vouchsafe, and Killing Wind as well. Then we've got Slide Shot, where sliding partially reloads the magazine and temporarily boosts range and stability, and Rangefinder for a straight range increase. In the second category, we have Opening Shot, improved accuracy and range on the opening shot of an attack, and then Kill Clip, giving you a damage boost when you get a kill and then reload. Dragonfly is again okay for PvE, and Vorpal Weapon is alright as well. Snapshot Sights, letting you aim down sights faster, is actually not bad for PvP. So when we talk about a PvP God roll, you may be inclined to go with Rapid Hit or Outlaw for that reload increase and combine it with Kill Clip for that damage boost. And that's gonna be pretty darn effective. I mean, especially since this is getting the damage now of 140s, that is going to matter. However, I think that's actually also the PvE God roll. Like for PvE, I'm going for probably an extended mag perk and then rapid hit or outlaw plus kill clip, and that is going to be very darn effective. But again, that's also going to be good in PvP. However, an alternative God roll for PvP is just boosting the stats to the moon, and that would be getting something like Killing Wind, potentially Slide Shot, but Rangefinder is going to be the most consistent, combined with Opening Shot, maybe Snapshot, but mainly Opening Shot, to just give you a huge boost overall to your range, and that is going to let you have this weapon with great aim assistance, but still be hanging with the 140s and engaging enemies at a pretty decent range. However, it's time to move on to the second best of these weapons, and that's actually going to be the Sleepless Legendary Power Rocket Launcher. Now, this is actually one of the better legendary rockets you want to be going after, especially because rockets got a 30% damage increase just this season, so they're performing very well. And the Sleepless has got some really unique features. Now, stats wise, it just belongs to the high impact frame. That's extremely common, but when we move on to the perks, we see firstly, it can get impact casing to boost damage on a direct hit, which is great, but it can also get high velocity rounds for better velocity, or black powder for a bigger blast radius, and those are always good. Then in that first category, it can actually get field prep. I actually love field prep because not only does it give you a huge reload speed increase for simply crouching, but also it lets you get more reserves. So if you're using this in strikes, battlegrounds, wherever where you're using a rocket quite a bit, those extra few rounds from field prep are really gonna matter. Auto-loading holster, cracked out of its mind as well for rockets, reloading while it's stowed. Tracking is what some people swear by for PvP, and quick draw is not bad in PvP either. Then in that second category, you can go for chain reaction, where final blows cause those enemies to explode, which can then cause more enemies to explode. That's going to be the best for ad clearing. Demolitionist is definitely not bad, especially because when you throw a grenade, it will reload your rocket launcher, letting you get 2 really rapid fire rockets off. Then Wellspring, not as good as Demo, honestly, but Vorpal Weapon. This is actually the only rocket launcher in the entire game right now that can get Vorpal Weapon. And it turns out Vorpal Weapon gives you a bigger damage boost than Cluster Bomb, and it's just a tiny bit less than Lasting Impression. So this weapon's PvE God roll results in one of, if not arguably the best legendary rocket launcher in the game right now. And that God roll would be Field Prep or auto-loading holster combined with Vorpal Weapon. That's going to give you a super consistent, very high damage boost against bosses, which is what you want for your rocket launchers, while not being absolute trash tier against the ads like Lasting Impression is. If you ever try to use Lasting Impression in battlegrounds and whatever, the enemies move away half the time, or the enemy you hit dies before the rocket can even explode. It is really not that great to use, but Vorpal Weapon is going to make this thing act like a normal rocket. It's going to be fantastic for clearing out groups of ads, but then just does a tiny bit less damage against bosses than Lasting Impression. So in terms of a general purpose rocket launcher that you're doing for the majority activities, this is one of the things you're absolutely going to want to go after. Now, as for a PvP role, I think you're going for tracking or quick draw plus chain reaction, just for maximum chaos, because if you can get a couple of kills, those enemies exploding could extend that double kill into a triple kill or even a quad. It's also going to be not bad for PvE to get chain reaction as well. But it is time to move on, and that means the best of these reissued Dreaming City weapons is the Retold Tail Legendary Energy Shotgun. Now, this belongs really interestingly to the Precision Frame 65 rounds per minute archetype, but it's not a slug. Even though these slug shotguns like the Philo, like the Blasphemer, like the Heritage, is going to be a slug shotgun and also shoot at 65 rounds per minute. This just falls into a super rare, basically forgotten about by Bungie archetype. But this archetype does have fantastic base range. Now, you may be thinking, why the heck are you putting this at number 1? Like, the Retold Tail is not seeing a ton of play right now. Like, why are you so hyped on it? There's a very good reason for that. If we take a look at this weapon's perks, it can get some absolutely incredible PvP options. So, in terms of barrels, we have full choke to tighten the spread, and we also have rifled barrel for a huge boost in range. And then we have access to accurized rounds for another just straight boost to range. In that first perk category, we have, super importantly, Quick Draw. Quick Draw is undoubtedly the best PvP shotgun perk in the game. It makes or breaks your shotgun god rolls. The fact that, for example, the Astral Horizon can't get Quick Draw anymore in the reissued version has caused its value to absolutely plummet. So the fact that this is here is super, super valuable. But we do also have Slide Shot, which is good for shotguns as well, so it's a decent fallback scenario. And I gotta be honest, Lead from Gold and Field Prep are not bad for PvE either, especially for just a general purpose shotgun. I think you should have one Lead from Gold shotgun because it lets you run a build around a heavy weapon, like run your Xenophage, your Eyes of Tomorrow, and then have double Machine Gun Finder, double Machine Gun Scavenger, and you get your ammo via lead from gold, so you don't have to worry about having a special weapon with ammo. Then in that second category, Demolitionist is going to be great for PvE. 1-2 Punch is going to be pretty decent in PvE as well and can create some very fun builds. Vorpal Weapon is also going to be decent for PvE and PvP to offer a damage boost against supers, don't forget. Snapshot Sights is going to be great for PvP, letting you just aim down sights, snap on target, and then Killing Wind. That is a really exciting one for PvP. And Surrounded, giving you a damage boost when enemies nearby, is good in PvE as well. And so I think the utter PvP god roll is going to be Full Choke or Rifled Barrel combined with accurized rounds and then Quick Draw plus Snapshot Sights, or I would prefer Killing Wind. That is going to be an incredibly good PvP god roll. Now here's the thing, that roll is seeing basically no play right now because of the Fellwinter's Lie. That is an energy shotgun. We just found out it's not getting sunset, so it's not going anywhere, so why the heck would you want to go after this? Well, quite simple. Bungie themselves have confirmed that the Fellwinter's Lie is getting a nerf. And so, if that gets nerfed, this thing could be the next best thing. This thing could rise to prominence. It's actually arguably with that god roll just behind the Fellwinter's Lie, because before this thing came out, the shotgun in second place behind the Fellwinters was the 7th Seraph shotgun, and that gets the same rolls of Quick Draw plus either Snapshot or Vorpal. That's its best rolls. But the Retold tail has better range and does more damage. So if you are looking for a fantastic PvP shotgun to potentially replace the Fellwinter's Lie if it gets nerfed too hard, and we know Bungie has a track record of nerfing things pretty hard, this is definitely something you want to get your hands on, and that's why it's ranked so high, because the chances for this thing to explode onto the meta after the Fellwinter's nerf are pretty high, and so it's definitely in all of your guys' interests to hedge your bets and try to farm a good roll now instead of after it's potentially a meta requirement, you know? However, let's not forget it also has a relatively decent PvE roll. I would be going for something like Assault Mag or maybe an Extended Mag perk combined with Lead from Gold or Field Prep, and then either Demo, 1-2 Punch, or Vorpal could be pretty good there. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.